It's always fun playing these guys. I mean, they got a really good team, deep team, and I think it's been a lot of fun playing them in the years past, and it can only get better.
The fact that you guys went into a rebuild pretty much at the same time, did it spark that rivalry you feel a little bit over the years?
I mean, I'd say we got similar teams with similar age groups and stuff, and they've been a really good team for the past couple of years, and that's part of the game. That's hockey, and we can't take these guys lightly at all. It's always fun playing them, but it's a huge 2 points.
How would you describe the challenge of going up against a player like Tim Stützle and what he brings for the Sens?
Yeah, I mean, he's great every time we play him. He's a fun player to watch, and every time he's out there, I feel like he has the puck and he's doing something, creating offense, and definitely somebody you got to watch out for and know who you're up against.
Scored 9 goals so far. I think the majority of your goals are winning goals, tying goals, or goals that are giving your team the lead, which is quite impressive when you look at it. Can you talk about the importance of helping your team offensively, but at moments that are key at the same point, at the same time? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, that's just playing the game in front of you. Trying to do what I can to help the team get back in it, win games. But that's a lot of credit to my line mates, the rest of the team, and it's a tough league to score in, and just hopefully we can keep that going. But winning games is what's most fun.
For sure.
You feel cool.
Ouais, je pense que ça fait une couple d'années que je suis arrivé ici, puis tout à coup, j'étais un des plus vieux. Ça veut pas dire que moi, je suis vieux, mais sur cette équipe, oui. Donc, ça fait une couple d'années que je deviens de plus en plus, peut-être vocal un peu plus qu'avant, puis c'est ça, j'essaie de rester comme moi-même aussi.
When it comes to defending the rush, what have been some of the systems that St. Louis has really emphasized?
Oh, I think definitely being able to. The first thing is be able to support the attack, and everybody kind of thinks of that as getting up into the rush to score goals. But I think a bigger part of it is then how your gap is when the puck's turned over. The amount of times that you actually get a puck in a rush is a lot less than the amount of times you have to have a good gap for the rest of the shift. So I think that's where it really starts. And for him, I think we adjusted things a little bit in our forecheck this year, but nevertheless being able to just be up in their face and take time and space away.
And then when you go back to when St. Louis first came in and trying to clean up defensively was a top priority for him, what were some of those early systems that you remember were kind of the groundwork, the foundation that's kind of gotten you guys to where you're at now?
Well, I think we tried out a few different things to see what would work, and the other team is always going to have pretty good schemes to try to break you down, and the fun part about hockey, compared to football, let's say, is that it's a moving game and you never really see two plays that are exactly the same. And so we talk a lot about what's black and white and then what's kind of gray. And I think earlier on we had a lot of gray, and I'd say now we have a lot less, which has made it a lot harder for us to get beat.
Is there one thing you're really liking in the defensive zone and how you're able to contain them at times?
I'd say the initial rush has gotten a lot better, where we're not kind of just letting teams walk in and set up, and it's kind of like the old saying goes, the less time you spend in your D zone, the better, and I think we've been doing a much better job of that, where we're not. You look back a couple of years ago, there'd always be a couple of shifts a game where we'd get hemmed in, and bad things happen when that sort of thing happens, and so we've had a lot less of that.
What are your impressions of how this Senators-Canadiens rivalry has kind of grown since you joined the team a few years ago?
Well, I think it's the nature of having two teams that are have passionate fan bases, and then also two teams that are in pretty similar situations where it was kind of young up-and-coming teams that took a step at the same time and were able to have some success last year. So it's kind of just happened organically, I'd say, where it's just two teams that really want to take a step and kind of see each other in the way of each other.
And how would you describe the challenge of going up against a player like Tim Stützle, who's so important for the Sens team?
Yeah, he's obviously a very dangerous weapon on the ice, and I've got a lot of respect for how dangerous he is, and so you have to be very aware when he's on the ice.
Back to you had a good start. I mean, it seems that you guys will be target for them. Do you expect that kind of game tonight?
Yeah, for sure. It's going to be physical and it's going to be a hard game. That's what we expect. But I feel like we're ready for it.
Do you think that this team had the right balance between skills and player who can face physicality and play that kind of gritty hockey?
Yeah, I feel like everyone is skilled, and then we have a lot of guys that play physical as well. So I think it's a great balance, and it's going to be a good game.
Have you found that balance yourself in your own game?
I think it's been pretty good. Some nights you have a chance to hit more, some nights maybe not, but I feel like this is going to be one of the nights when you're going to be hitting a little more.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
That was quick.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez bien? que tu as pas de changement ce soir?
Monty Bennett.
Monty, OK. C'était difficile de ne pas attirer l'attention. Tu as regardé discuter avec Mike Matheson à la fin de l'entraînement. Et tantôt, Mike disait qu'il se sentait à l'aise maintenant de parler, donner son opinion, d'échanger avec toi pour le bien de l'équipe. J'aimerais que tu me dises un petit peu ce que tu penses de ça quand un joueur vient te voir, discute pour l'intérêt de l'équipe puis faire avancer le club.
Mais je pense que ça fait partie un peu comment qu'on travaille comme groupe d'entraîneurs. On a beaucoup de conversations, pas juste avec les individus, mais avec l'équipe. Fait que je pense qu'on encourage ça. Je pense que tu arrives à un certain moment de ta carrière que tu vas initier ces conversations-là. Puis quand tu es dans un environnement que ces actions-là sont la bienvenue, bien, les gars sont beaucoup plus à l'aise. Puis pourquoi qu'on n'essaierait pas d'utiliser les cerveaux de nos joueurs qui ont toutes ces répétitions-là, surtout l'expérience qu'un Mike Matheson a. Fait que des fois, on a des conversations, des petits débats, whatever. Mais à la fin de la journée, tout ce qu'on essaie de faire, c'est se convaincre comme un groupe. Comment gérer certaines situations qui arrivent sur la glace. Puis je pense que les conversations avec les joueurs sont très importantes.
Mackenzie? Well, Matin, you guys have done a good job of generating scoring chances off the rush. What are you seeing that's allowing your group to do that as of late?
I think our transition game, I think creating more turnovers in the neutral zone. I think our balance on the ice. I don't think it's one thing. Sometimes you get rush chances the way you break out. Sometimes off turnovers, but I feel we're getting more out of our rush opportunity than we have in the past, and we work on that quite a bit. I think last year we were able to generate rush opportunity, but we didn't get much out of it, and I feel like it's been a focus.
Eric, ensuite Harper.
Grew up with Habs Leafs, Habs Bruins, Habs Nordiques. How do you feel about Habs Sens? Where's this going, you think?
I mean, I think since I've been here, I think it's been one that probably has elevated a little bit, and why? I don't know. Is it the proximity? Is it the physicality in games? It's probably a combination of a lot of things, So I would say it is where it is.
How do you think your group feels about it? I mean, they're often compared to each other just because of where they're at in their progressions as teams. It seems like that rivalry is stoked a little bit by some people thinking the Sens are ahead, some people thinking you guys are ahead. Like, what's your feel of your group's feeling of that whole thing?
I think our group is ready to play whatever kind of game is out there. I think we'll be ready for whatever, but we don't get wrapped up where people think we are, what they think they are. We don't get wrapped up in that. We just keep going, and we're going to play the game that's in front of us, whatever that is. I think we're ready for anything.
First, would you be willing to get into some specifics of what you were talking about with Mike on the ice?
No.
No? Okay, that's fair. I want to ask you about Budzik. Just talking to him earlier, he seems to not be thrilled with how he's been playing. It's obviously hard to come to a new team and everything. How have you seen his progression so far this year?
Well, I mean, I think it's been up and down a little bit. His good's really good, and we are getting to know the player. He's coming in a new environment, a new concept system, however you want to call him. I don't think I don't think he's playing instinctively yet. But we'll get him there. It's to keep figuring out how do we get him there. Is it more conversation? Is it more video? So we're learning. But we know what's there. We like the player, and we're going to keep at it with him just so help him get a little more detail in this game, so the game is easier for him.
The dynamic you described earlier that we saw on the ice with Mike, which I imagine happens all the time. In terms of him coming into a new team and feeling that comfort level, how have you found his ability to exchange ideas and just kind of work through the process that you just described?
You talk about Bolduc again? Yeah, I mean, I don't think Boldy's exchanging ideas right now. I think he's trying to learn everything that we do. But he's very receptive, and it's not just one-way conversation, you know. There's discussions and, you know, how he was used to do certain things, and now we're asking him to do things a little bit different, but not totally outside the box. So it's just slight adjustment that eventually I think they're going to come more instinctive, where I think it's going to free him up a little more, which I think that's going to give him more consistency in his game. So we're trying to get him there, and we're going to keep working at it.
Oui, Martin, tu parlais cette semaine d'apprendre que ton équipe est en train d'apprendre à jouer avec l'avance. Qu'est-ce qui rend ça si difficile de trouver l'équilibre quand le club a l'avance entre continuer à jouer comme ils ont fait pour obtenir cette avance-là, puis avoir de l'attaque et tout, et step back, mais pas trop en même temps?
Mais il y a une grosse différence entre gérer la rondelle puis gérer le match. Tu sais, parce que je trouve nos débuts de match, on est très excellents, on gère la rondelle très bien, mais pour n'importe quelle raison, on n'est pas capable de se séparer de bonne heure. Tu sais, parce que c'est quand tu passes de gérer la rondelle à gérer la game. Tu sais, des fois, ça peut être en fin de deuxième. Des fois, ça peut être, si tu mènes 3-4-0 après la première, tu es passé à gérer la game, là. Ton risque, il devrait être très, très, très minimum et très, très calculé. Tu sais, puis en troisième période, quand tu mènes par 2-3 buts, tu gères la game. Tu sais, mais si tu ne gères pas la rondelle de bonne heure, tu n'auras pas l'opportunité de gérer la game. Tu comprends ce que je veux dire? Tu sais? Fait que si on parle beaucoup de ça, tu sais, de continuer à être surgical, très précis, à gérer la rondelle, tu sais, quand les matchs commencent, pour qu'on se donne une bonne chance d'être dans une position de gérer la game plus tard. Bon, on ne sait pas c'est quand ça va cliquer. Ça dépend. Si on finit dessus sur nos chances, on mène-tu par 2 buts en fin de deuxième, on mène-tu par 3 buts en troisième, je ne sais pas, mais il faut continuer à apprendre quand on transitionne à gérer la game.
Ton expérience, ça vient avec le temps, ça? Ça vient avec...
Mais ça vient de l'expérience, ça vient avec des discussions, tu sais, ça vient avec la maturité aussi.
Yeah, just on the subject that we just asked you about, when you talk about managing the game, a general person might assume you're saying take your foot off the gas. What's the balance between managing the game, managing your risk, and continuing to attack when you have a lead?
Yeah, I mean, I think you still want to be in possession mode. You still want to keep playing. You can't just dump pucks. You know, if they give us space, you got to take it. To me, you got to keep playing the game. But when you get into, you know, a situation where there's no numerical advantage, you know, what's the next thing? Well, we want to possess deep. We want to get, you know, we still want to forecheck if we can't enter with possession. But also when we have possession in the O-zone, you know, what kind of play are we trying to make in the O-zone? We're making, you know, almost plays that it almost worked. You know, low percentage play that, yeah, if you're down 2, I'm thinking, you know what, I don't mind that. But when you're up 2, we got to be more selective of when we're throwing pucks south, like towards, you know, from below the goal line. We're throwing pucks into, you know, the scoring area, but they're all there and it gets tipped and now they go down 3-on-2, you know. Or how much our Ds are going to get involved offensively when, you know, you're managing the game. There's things that we talk about. I don't want to stop playing, but we got to be a little more selective and understand that if we possess in the O-zone, they can't score from there. And if they're going to come back in the game, they got to come 200 feet and break us down 200 feet. But if you start their offense by just throwing whole plays and you know, you kind of help the other team a little bit. And we're trying to get better at that.
Have you done any work 5-on-6 over the last little bit? Like, I mean, what do you think is going on there?
Yeah. No, I mean, we're doing a lot of video about it. It's a part of the game, our game, that, you know, we have to tighten up, you know. And I would say that based on the progression of the team, it's something we really started talking about last year. And I feel this year it's going to be even a bigger focus, and we're in the process of really focusing on that, and hopefully we get more reps and get better at it.
Merci.
Merci.
Merci.